Good morning, everyone. I am so excited that we are here today. My name is Janice with Truly Your VA with Janice. And today I have on an amazing guest, and she has really a very unique background. So first of all, I want to welcome you, Anjum, to the Truly Your VA podcast with Janice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. You know, you have guided 30 plus businesses in your social media marketing agency. Now, I know when I first started out as an online entrepreneur and my journey to officially become a VA and whatnot, I think a lot of times when people hear the word social media, it's a little frightening. So I wonder if you can, I mean, I know you can explain it to us, but can you just simplify it in terms like maybe one of our viewers or listeners that will be watching or viewing, that they can really kind of feel more comfortable with it?
Yeah, for sure. You know, social media is what I feel is it is as you take it, right? It can be a boon, it can be a curse, but it depends on how you perceive it, how you use it in the first place. You know, you can be sitting there doing nothing on social media and scrolling all the way for, straight up 4 or 5 hours, and right there it has become a curse for you. But if you're out there on social media using it for your businesses, getting in touch with people all over the globe, networking for your business, making connections, speaking with all of these incredible people out in the world, and of course it's a boon for you, right? So it depends on how you use it, how you perceive it, and how you want to take it forward as well.
You know, that is very informative, and because the question that I get asked a lot, and as a business coach, is, social media seems very overwhelming. You have so many different platforms. I'm from the era where I remember when FedEx first was introduced, obviously quite a few years ago. But the point being, when we started out with social media, I think it was before Facebook. Oh gosh, and the name escapes me. There was a social media platform.
It was called Orkut. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I don't want to. It's not Snapchat. It was another platform, and then Facebook came into the scene and kind of took over the scene. And then there was Instagram, LinkedIn, and now, of course, we're in the digital era. TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, like there's so many different things. Now, on top of it, of course, audio social media. So whenever whenever I'm asked the question, which social media should I be on? You shared some amazing tips. How do you perceive it? How do you use it? And where or how you want it to go? So it really depends on whom you're serving, correct?
So absolutely correct. Okay. I think I lost my power, but we'll be good for the audio, not to worry.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. So okay. The thought just left my head, but I want to, you were asking me about, can you just repeat the question so that it comes back to me?
Well, you would mention, how you perceive it, how you use it, and where you go from there. And it really depends on the audience or your avatar, your niche, because we can't serve everyone, but we want to serve those to whom we want to reach.
True. It depends on your business, and it also depends on the business goals that you have right now. And you don't want to sit there and focus on all the 100 plus social media platforms present out there, right? It's difficult. Okay, what I always suggest is try to pick platforms of which as you said, it's easier for them to reach your ideal audience. And also, one more agenda or one more plus point that you can have is where you can repurpose your content, right? So people always neglect that and ignore the fact that, if you are on TikTok, you definitely can repurpose the thing on Instagram Reels and vice versa, right? If you have a YouTube channel, you can make reels out of the already posted or already short content. You have a long form video on YouTube, which is like 30 minutes. You can pick out the interesting parts and post it on reels and TikToks and drive traffic to your YouTube. It also depends, as I said, on the business goals, like where are you trying to make people go towards, right? Do you want them to go towards your blog? Do you want them to go towards your website or your e-com website or your funnel or whatever that is? So depending on that, your goals will change, and also your platforms that you're trying to be on.
Right. And how you work with your clients. And that is so important because they may be thinking, oh my God, I have to be on all these social media platforms. For instance, if you're a book coach, you may want to be on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Yeah.
So there's so many different avenues. And I know it's overwhelming sometimes too, when a coach may say to you, or how you guide your clients, like, Anjum, like, really, what do you mean I gotta, like, whom am I serving? An avatar? Particularly, I don't like the word avatar, but you really have to think of it in sense of whom you're serving, because they're not going to be all over the place. Nobody wants to be all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. And when you pick out certain types of platforms, you can find the majority of your audience there, because it's a social media. As you said, it's a digital era, and most of us are present on social media. But also sometimes you got to look at it with the eye of which platform do you enjoy the most? Right? Do you love creating on? Do you love being on? So, it's and how much time do you have exactly to be spending on each of these platforms? I cannot sit there and create content for all of the different platforms that I want to be in, definitely. But then, you can start small and expand later as well.
Right. And something that you mentioned before that I kind of want to add to is repurposing content.
Yes.
Excuse me, especially with being, let's say, Facebook and Instagram. And we know, I just heard recently, Instagram is really more of a reels type of situation, whereas years ago, it was just sharing photos, that type of thing. So as I understand the algorithm with Instagram, if you're not doing reels, you're not going to show up in the algorithm as, say, somebody who is in the same, doing the same type of business, that they're doing reels and you're just doing typical posts. Have you found out with some things?
So actually, this is being like said a lot, that you have to be on reels, you have to be on reels, and people are opposing it as well. Like, okay, I don't like being on reels, then why should I be on reels? It's not like that. It's nothing to be demonized. It's just a good opportunity. And the people who say that, what I feel personally is, if they say you that you don't have to be on Instagram reels, if you're already established, if you have already a good following and you have been working on Instagram since long time, maybe before even reels, and you have the established authority and you have your client base, you have your customer base and your follower base, now for you it really doesn't matter, okay, because you have already established yourself, and maybe you have to just keep up with something, right? You are still creating posts, you're still creating carousels post and the normal post and things like that. But let's say a person has started in 2021, right, when the reels are in boom, and he's just started, and now of course the person who started has to keep up and go with the trends and go with the marketing mediums that have been changing. He cannot sit there and argue with me saying, I don't, of course, like, I don't want to be doing reels and I will just stick with my post. But you are losing an opportunity over there. You are losing on the, a great opportunity that you have, and potentially you can reach more people through reels right now. Then why wouldn't you want to do it, right? Of course, you can find more creative ways that you feel comfortable in doing, right? There's a person A who feels comfortable doing dancing or to the music, pointing, singing, and all of those stuff. But there is also a person B who doesn't enjoy doing that, like me. I love just sitting and speaking to the camera and things like that. So I prefer that I'll do my reels in the way that I feel comfortable in, not in the way that I don't want to do it. Right? But if you are just losing out and thinking that, okay, I'm not going to do this at all, then it's your loss and you're missing the opportunity there. That's it.
I love what you said, to do it in such a way where you feel comfortable. But before that, you were referring to if people in your industry
Mhm.
are hitting the mark with gaining clients that way, you may have to step over that fear a little bit and just say, okay, I'm going to start out, I'm going to do what I normally do because I'm comfortable with that. However, maybe instead of doing standard posts 7 days a week, I will do reels 3 days a week, or even start out with
Yes.
two, just so
Yeah.
that they can, because there's so much to say about seeing a person that you potentially want to work with, hearing their voice,
True.
hearing their passion
Absolutely.
about their business. For
Yeah.
me, I was just talking with my sister about this last week on our podcast, the Two Sisters podcast. And,
Mhm.
I'm very real and authentic, but I also have fears of showing up on camera by myself.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid right now. I don't have that fear right now because I'm with someone. So she has
Yeah.
challenged me, just do it, like get over it. And I get that. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is, yes, I have that fear, but I
Mhm.
need to do something about that because,
Exactly.
you can see, you can hear, but if I'm not, getting myself personally out there, well, that's another thing. So thank you so much for sharing that. And then again, in the way that feels comfortable to you.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to chat about is, excuse me, audio social media.
Mhm.
I want to say that within the last year, well, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, was when you really started to hear the hype about audio social media. And
Yeah.
at first it was by invitation only. So if you got an invitation, you were like it, right?
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, I received my invitation to join
Mhm.
Clubhouse in December of let's see, it's 2020, I believe it was. Yes, 2020.
Mhm.
And I joined,
Mhm.
didn't really do anything with it until last year.
Okay.
What would you, and now I'm close to 5,000 followers on
That's incredible.
Clubhouse. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, okay. So I started showing up, as you say, doing it in a way that's comfortable. So for instance, let's say I'm on Clubhouse right now, but
Mhm.
I could be sitting in my jammies working on my stuff and
Mhm.
holding, doing something on audio
Mhm.
on Clubhouse. And there's also wisdom, of course, which in a way, no lie, I've done that quite a few times, actually. So I felt comfortable. It was audio and I was not on camera. So now
Yeah.
I'm working on, okay, I want to get on, do a Facebook Live by myself, be a big
Mhm.
girl about it. Have you had clients that have had the same type of, they're not sure if they should even approach audio social media and, just have the
Mhm.
fear with video?
I definitely have had clients who have had fear of getting in front of the camera, right? Even if you take me back to my early days, I was one of them. Like I had the fear of being on camera, like speaking in front of the camera. Just being there was like totally out of my comfort zone. But we have to adapt, and because things keep changing in the marketing world, right? You cannot just sit there and thinking, no, I'm going to do it my way itself. I'm going to have it my way. So it's not like that. You have to adapt. You have to keep moving with it. You have to keep adapting. You have to keep growing. And if you have to step out of your comfort zone, maybe not today, but at least tomorrow, right? Things like that happen. And it was definitely that I had to make that change. And even some of my clients who come to me earlier and have that fear, I always tell them the same thing, that start with something that's comfortable for you. If you have not at all put up even a single photo of yourself, start with that. It's a small step. You get used to seeing your face on your feed, right? Then start with Instagram stories. Like, Instagram stories are just 15 seconds, does not require much of a commitment, stays there only for 24 hours. and things like that. So it's an easier thing to do, and it will boost your confidence. And always, it's you're not aiming for perfection over there. Like, you don't want to sit there thinking, this is the video that I'm shooting and it has to be perfect. Like, I want everything to be perfect is when I'm going to hit that share button. Instead of that, it, even if you've made mistakes, even if your sound is horrible, even if your video quality is horrible, whatever that is, just put it out there so that you know that you have to improve on certain things when you do your next video, when you show up on the next thing on your camera, right? So just small steps, which people forget that even small steps can lead to bigger changes. They focus on being perfect in the first go, instead of that, just focus on making progress and improve, and give yourself that grace, give yourself that time that, it will definitely take time. Because you're doing something too much out of your comfort zone, it will take time. It is not going to happen in the first instance. Like, give yourself the time. Like, I gave myself so much time. If you look at my previous videos when I started out, they're so much different than what I do right now. I had no confidence. My audio quality was so, like, you can hear the fear in my voice. Like, I'm trying to speak so low and hardly even people can hear me and things like that. But there's a lot of difference. If I had thought at that point all of those negative things and had not hit that share button, I wouldn't have been improved the way I have in that journey.
And that's so important, because I think the negative things, it's not that we bring them on ourselves, but I think we're very critical of ourselves. So of course we point out, oh my God, I'm having a bad hair day.
Yeah.
My makeup looks terrible, lighting's off. And, so thank you for sharing that. I want to talk about where you were before you decided to start your business, because I know that there's so many people out there that are making the transition from maybe a brick and mortar type of business to being their own entrepreneur. How did you start? Like, why did you decide to become an entrepreneur? And how did that progress for you?
Yeah, so I used to work in the corporate world, the typical 9 to 5 job. I used to do that, but like, let me tell you, like, when I started out, like, within a few days, I had realized that this was something that I didn't want to do in the long term, right? I was sure about it. I was like, okay, I need something to get out of this. But there is, because of the societal pressure, there is the thing that goes on in your head saying, you have worked hard for it. You did all those things all these years and you have come to this point, and maybe you're not giving it a fair choice. Maybe you're not giving it a fair chance to work for you. So I stuck with it. I stuck with it for 1 year, 2 years, but then it was really eating me up from inside. I was not at all happy. I was slipping into a very bad mental state, and I knew that I had to make a change for it. And that is when I started out to look for options, because I started realizing I think I started learning more about myself when I started realizing that I want much more freedom from the places that I want to work in. I want to travel often. I want to meet my family whenever I want to. And, I want to do something on my own terms. And I started realizing about it, about my own personality. And that is when I started looking for different options, which will give me all of these things that I'm looking for, and which will also make me a good living and things like that. That is when I landed uh, on some of the website of my mentor at that time, and I landed on her page. I took her, a good uh, look at her free trainings. I then opted into her mastermind courses, then worked with her. Started as a freelancer initially, and then when I gained experience and everything, I started my own business after that.
Wow, that is so exciting. And I love how you said, to be with your family, have much more freedom on
Yeah.
your own, but on your own terms. And that is so valuable, because, I know for a lot of entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs, we're so reliant. When I was, working for somebody else, I relied on that paycheck every week.
Yeah.
And it's like taking yourself out of that comfort zone again and say, okay, well, here I am in the, you know, for me, I happen to be laid off. Now I was working on getting my online business up and running, but then it was like, okay,
Mhm.
it's go time. So
Okay.
that, although that was scary, I did it.
Mhm.
Made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I think the beauty too of making mistakes is that you really learn from them and it leads you exactly to where you need to go.
That's absolutely true. And I think entrepreneurship is something that it makes you get in touch with yourself so much. You learn about yourself so much that you were totally not aware of your strengths, your weaknesses, the way you cope up with things. It has taught me so much than I could have ever learned in my day job.
Right, exactly. Now, where are you on social media? Like, where can somebody find you?
So Instagram, of course, because I love Instagram and I'm on Instagram all the time. So Instagram at the rate Anjum Bhandari is where you can find me easily.
Wonderful. Now, do you offer potential clients like a free initial consultation? Like, how does that type of process work?
Yeah, so usually we have a call when someone is interested and the things that they're looking for. And of course, we have a call, we discuss the things they're looking for and if I would be the right fit or if at all I offer any kind of the services that they are looking for. And then if that matches, then of course we move forward and do all of those things.
That is awesome. Now, I assume you have clients all over the world.
Yeah, I do.
So before we hopped on the live here, I mentioned to you that, oh my God, I'm so time zone challenged because I said good morning. I'm like, wait a minute. No, it's good evening for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good evening. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my God. Anjum, I so enjoyed having you on today. And I think there's so much more that we need to discuss and jump into. And I am excited to have you on again. So I hope that you will definitely do me the honor of coming on Truly Your BA again.
yeah, absolutely. I would love to.
So folks, I will put in the show note how you can get a hold of Anjum. As she said that she's on Instagram, that's her jam. And I think that's amazing. She shared some valuable insight on entrepreneurship. And I share with you that, you know, I have a fear to get over. That's the reality of it. I need to show up for myself, by myself on camera. Who knows? I'll keep you posted. But in any event, thank you again, Anjum. Pleasure to have you. And excuse me, come back often where we have some amazing guests coming on. Anjum will love to chat with you. And my name is Janice, and I am the host with Truly Your BA with Janice. And check us out on, we're also on Amazon as well, a couple different platforms. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.